at AM 1160. Send them the link to 1160hope.com.
Welcome to Transforming Your City Radio with popular leadership expert coach Dr. Dave Robinson. Dave is a full-time executive leadership coach who travels the USA and oversees more than 250 days each year, helping leaders improve their skills and seeing their vision become a reality. He's authored 4 books on leadership and publishes a monthly e-newsletter read by more than 40,000 people in over 30 nations. Coach Dave tackles the 3 key leadership questions. What do you want? What do you have? And what's your plan to close the gap from what you have to what you want? This is where coaching begins, transforming your city. Now, here's Coach Dave Robinson, Ph.D.
Hello, I'm Coach Dave Robinson, and welcome to Transforming Your City right here on AM 1160, Hope for Your Life. This is a show that helps you develop your own personal skills so you can transform your city through marketplace leadership.
And now let's check the coach's clipboard. Leadership coach Dr. Dave Robinson shares what's on his heart, giving you a fresh insight and revelation into transforming your city.
The Coach's Clipboard is my opportunity to share with you thoughts on the need for transforming your city through marketplace leaders. Today I want to talk about Matthew 20, verse 6. Why do you stand idle all day in the marketplace? I believe that was not only a reference when that was given in the New Testament, but also I believe it is talking about the church today. Ministry should not be about geography or location, but calling and awareness. Whether it's church house or highways or byways, it should not matter. It seems that the church is confused about marketing the gospel and understanding the difference with evangelism. Marketing is creating a sense of urgency and demand. Sales is closing the deal. The church has tried to create a sense of urgency in the church meetings, but they seem to be unable to close the transaction in the marketplace. Repeatedly, Jesus uses the term marketplace, but the church fails to comprehend how important it is to world evangelism and discipleship. Jesus refused to involve himself in the ecclesiastical system of his day and seemed to go out of his way to avoid it. Early church leaders, especially Paul, were anything but idle in the marketplace. By the 3rd century, institutional concerns had taken precedence in the church over their marketplace efforts. The church moved indoors, and the religious managers found a way to keep its influence confined mostly to a building. Too many churches are more concerned with advertising what's happening inside their walls while neglecting marketplace opportunities. Advertising church activities does little in creating marketplace activity. Promoting church events should never replace a passion for marketplace influence by the church. True evangelists share the gospel with those who have never heard. They don't travel from church to church stirring up the saints. Most gifted evangelists never travel, and their schedule is full. We call it marketplace evangelism, and it pays well. The target is the harvest fields, not the church pews. Too much emphasis on getting people active in the building, while little, if any, thought given to their marketplace activity. Most marketplace warriors stand idle, and they do not know what to do, how to do it, or even why they're there. The result is the devil's winning. Most cannot see a direct relationship between what they hear on Sundays and what they face on Mondays. What's happening in your marketplace? If what's happening in your building is not translated to real kingdom efforts in the marketplace, is it really worth the effort?
It's the Coach's Playbook. Dave Robinson travels more than 250 days each year coaching globally to help transform cities and nations. With his effective teaching style, Dave presents today's leadership moment highly relevant for you and your city.
This week's Coach's Playbook opens up to part 1 of a series on 7 keys for success, tips that I believe will help you grow as a marketplace leader. Psalms 107:23 says, "Those who go down to the sea in ships, who do business on great waters. They see the works of the Lord and his wonders in the deep. For he commands and raises the stormy wind, which lifts up the waves of the sea. They mount up to the heavens. They go down again into the depths. Their soul melts because of trouble. They reel to and fro and stagger like a drunken man. And they are at their wits' end. Then they cry out to the Lord in their trouble, and he brings them out of their distresses. He calms the storm so that its waves are still. Then they are glad because they are quiet. So he guides them to their desired haven. Oh, that men would give thanks to the Lord for his goodness and for his wonderful works in the children of men. Let them exalt him also in the assembly of the people, and the praise of him in the company of the elders. According to a recent article in Forbes magazine, here are the 5 top reasons that 8 out of 10 businesses fail within the first 18 months. Number 1, they don't understand their customers and the market realities. Number 2, they lack unique values and separation from others that are in the same kind of business. Number 3, they fail to communicate value and a compelling vision to those that work with them. Number 4, they have a leadership failure at the top. And number 5, the failure to establish a profitable business model with proven revenue streams. Now, I'm standing in a room this morning of men who have been very successful in business. And I'm speaking primarily to those who are still on their journey, who are still looking for ways to be successful in whatever ministry, title, business that God has called you to. And those of you that have been successful, that have gained a place of significance in your life and in the calling of God, you need to put your arms around some of these young men who are still on that journey. And I want to encourage the men who have blazed the trail, who have lived what I read in Psalms 107. In your times of business, you have reeled, I'm sure, like a drunken man, to and fro. You have felt the waves and the pressure. But I want to encourage you today that the Holy Spirit is never in a hurry, and he's never under pressure. Those were 2 gauges that I used through the 46 years that I was a warrior in the church and in the business world. And I'm very glad today that I have been allowed to become a father and not have to be a warrior anymore. I still war in the spirit, but I don't have to go to the front line anymore. People say, why do you do what you do? Because God has called me to do what I do. But what helps is I don't have to do it other than the call of God on my life. God is my source, and God has proven himself to be strong on my behalf. And so I enjoy being a father. I dress them for battle. I make sure their lunch is packed. I pray with them and send them out and say, I'll be here when you get back. And as I see them come over the hills from the battle, bloodied and beat up, and I welcome them home, and I say, how does it go at the front? And they share. I have young men, because of current technology, who contact me from all over the world. Somehow they've gotten one of my newsletters, or some way they got my name. Young people I'll probably never meet till we get to heaven, but I've had the privilege of sharing. You see, there's 2 ways to get wisdom in life, either through your pain or my experience. And I see people in business, especially the young ones, who take what I call the 100-yard dash in a 90-yard gym every day. When you're young, you flying, boy. I mean, the first 90 yards is great. And I hear them hit the wall. Oh, that's painful. I said, well, I told you it probably would be, but you thought you would be the exception and be the one to break through the wall. So maybe you won't keep doing that. See, I mean, if your head hurts, quit hitting the floor with it, and the pain will go away. Aren't you thankful for youth, energy? But see, the principal thing is what? Wisdom. I heard it. Wisdom. Seek for it as if it is what? Precious gold. Wisdom. Wisdom is simply knowing what to do with all the knowledge that you're constantly acquiring. One of my favorite stories, I probably shared it here, but at my age you get to share, so you just keep sharing. Doesn't bless you, it blesses me. So if I feel good, you probably will enjoy it better. It's about this bird that got a late start flying south for the winter. And he froze up over a cow pasture somewhere around Nebraska or Kansas. And he fell into the cow pasture. He's laying there all froze up. He's kicking himself for getting a late start. And he thought, here, what a way to die in this cow pasture. And about that time, a cow came by and made a deposit on him. And he thought, you talk about adding insult to injury. It's not bad enough I'm going to die froze up in this cow pasture. But this happens. But it was warm. And he began to thaw out. And he began to stretch and say, I just might make it after all. Been feeling pretty good. And he began to feel so good that he began to sing. And a fox came by and dug him out and ate him. 3 morals to this story. Number 1, not everybody who dumps on you is your enemy. Not everybody who digs you out is your friend. But most of all, when you're going through the stuff, sometimes it just pays to keep your mouth shut. I trust you enjoyed today's Playbook segment. Tune in next week for part 2 of 7 Keys for Success in Business.
The second half of this week's Transforming Your City program is right around the corner. Thanks for tuning in to popular leadership expert, Coach Dr. Dave Robinson. Now you can receive Dave's monthly Transforming Your City e-news, read by more than 40,000 people in over 30 nations, free of charge. Visit transformingyourcity.com and sign up today. All we ask for is your email address, nothing more. Visit transformingyourcity.com. That's transformingyourcity.com and get on the Coach's e-news team today. It's time to get to work transforming your city. Idle in the Marketplace at the 11th hour is the popular must-read from Dr. Dave Robinson concerning the church's most important mandate. Connect with Coach Dave. Become a member of the team at transformingyourcity.com. With your donation of any amount, you'll have online access to the Idle in the Marketplace audiobook. For your contribution of $35 or more, we'll include a print version as well. Perfect for highlighting and taking notes, plus a print copy of Dave's popular 100 Leadership Nuggets, the perfect guide for those who want to lead well. Your gift will help Transforming Your City impact lives globally for the kingdom. And Transforming Your City is part of E41 Marketplace Ministries. Visit transformingyourcity.com today and look for Idle in the Marketplace offer. That's transformingyourcity.com. Here's our toll-free number, 844-706-1444. That's 844-706-1444. Toll-free 844-706-1444. Transformingyourcity.com. Transforming Your City with Dr. Dave Robinson. What do you want? What do you have? And what is your plan to close the gap from what you have to what you want? This is where coaching begins, transforming your city. Now, here's Coach Dave Robinson, Ph.D. Ask the Marketplace Leaders. In the course of his travels, Dr. Dave Robinson connects with leaders in all areas of influence, business, government, and church, and invites experts to join him in this segment. Let's learn from leadership that will help you transform your city.
In today's Ask Marketplace Leader segment, I talk with Larry Chappel, who is a successful radio executive right here at AM 1160, Hope for Your Life. On the program with me today is Larry Chappel, who is an employee here at 1160, Hope for Your Life, Salem Radio Network. And Larry was very instrumental in me being on the radio and this whole program coming together. He called me, I guess, Larry, it was about a year and a half ago. We talked about it, and I said, let me pray about it, and then I'll get back to you. And in that last 11, 12, 13 months, God kind of just brought it all together, and here we are today. And so, Larry, it's great to have you on the program. Tell the folks a little bit about your background and how you got to Salem Radio Network.
Yeah, Dave, thank you. I appreciate you having me on the show, and I really appreciate this program and all that you're doing for the kingdom of God and the ministry and the excellence that is being put together, and we appreciate that at the station as well. My background boy, we'd run out of time real quickly. But I did work at Christianity Today. I was the vice president. I was at Christianity Today for 7 years. Loved it there and loved all the different clients and everything that I worked with, from the Christian colleges to the missions, and was the vice president of Real Media Group for about 7 years. And I ended up here, and I've been here for 17 years. And I tell you, you talk about, marketplace and influencing and that kind of thing. And I have found that it's really beautiful to be working somewhere where everything that we do is getting the gospel out. I mean, people that tune in, they're tuning in, and 36% tune in saying, God, are you there? I'm in trouble, and I need to hear from you right now. I need to be encouraged and exhorted and uplifted. And that's just, it's a beautiful thing to know that I work and I bring in programs and advertisers and things, and yet at the same time, every ministry we have on the air is not going to be there, unless we pay the bills and bring in the advertising and the marketing. So it really is it's a real joy to see the churches that have grown and people have joined the church and lives have been transformed. My wife was born again before we were married. She was just driving down the road and hitting buttons, and she found Greg Laurie and started listening. And, she was a Catholic and thought she knew something about religion, but said the sinner's prayer. And we just hear those stories all the time.
Larry, one of the things that we talked about when we first met and talked about coming on the radio was you said there's nothing like what you do on the radio. You've been around a long time, the church world and then the marketplace. What was it? What did you see that I'm doing that piqued your interest in why you wanted me to come?
Well, I saw that you were coaching pastors, that you were coaching ministries, that you had founded churches and were successful at those churches, and that you were helping churches and ministries and pastors and people to take it to the next level. And I think that that's critical in so many people's lives. They get so busy that they kind of just go around and around and around doing the same old thing and expecting different results. And when I looked at your curriculum and what you've written and what you're doing in your ministry and the anointing that God has placed upon you, pastors need coaching, they need mentoring. There's so many of them. I meet with almost exclusively churches just 5 days a week, and so many of them I just want to scream when I meet with them, and I have to be careful, but I listen to the sermons and they preach about, the walls in the temple and how Titus tore the walls are. They're given these big historical stories, and at the same time, the people in their congregation, they're hurting. I mean, they don't need, if you want a historical lesson, I mean, there's a place for that, but it's not on Sunday morning when people come in, they're all beat up and ravished and hurting, and they're looking for hope and inspiration and edification and comfort. And I think that's in your coaching. What you're doing is taking it back to that, taking it back to prioritizing, taking it back to I like your inventory analysis. What is it you really want to do? What is it you want to accomplish? And I think that there's no other show on this radio station that is really set up in a way that, or I don't know of any other pastor or minister. I know of some executive coaches coaching business leaders, but I don't know of any other, anyone else that's coaching churches and pastors, and they really do need to be coached. And you consider some of those I meet with, they're just really, really political. Well, that is so, you're going to turn off half of the people right out the gate because you got half Republican and half Democrat, and I just don't see, I think there's a place for politics, but I don't know that it's there in the pulpit. I don't see Jesus being all that political. I think our destination is to preach the gospel, to get people saved, and to grow the church and that kind of thing.
I'm Coach Dave Robinson. We'll talk more with Larry Chappel of AM 1160, Hope for Your Life, next week on Transforming Your City Radio. And now it's time to Ask the Coach.
It's time to Ask the Coach. In this segment, Dr. Dave Robinson goes to the phones, social media, and emails to answer questions directly coming in from thousands of weekly listeners to Transforming Your City.
I'm Coach Dave Robinson, and you can ask your question on Ask the Coach. Call us toll-free at 844-706-1444. That's 844-706-1444. You can also ask your question by email at info@transformingyourcity.com or use the contact form on our transformingyourcity.com website, or send us a message on our Transforming Your City Facebook page. In today's Ask the Coach Corner, I want to respond to a question that came in to us via email from Paul, who listens to us online in Florida. Paul writes, our ministry is establishing a new congregation in Merritt Island, Florida, and we want to be focused on marketplace ministry. What advice or tips would you suggest as we organize our first meeting, which comes up in early September? Thank you for that great question, Paul. The first thought I had was marketplace ministry should be the focus of every church and every local church family. I hear a lot of talk in church leadership circles today about being a first century church. The first century church was all about the marketplace. They didn't have any buildings in which to hang out. They spilled out of the upper room on the day of Pentecost into the marketplace, and according to Acts 17, verse 6, they turned their world upside down. You ask, what tips would I have for you? Well, first, I would teach a strong biblical theology for marketplace evangelism and missions. I have one that I've worked on for many years, and I'd be glad to send it to you. Just call the number our announcer will give you at the end of the show, and I'll be glad to send it to you. Second, I would emphasize everyone is a minister and leader in the marketplace. Ephesians 4:1 affirms the ministry calling of all believers, and I personally believe everyone is either leading people closer to Christ or further away by the life they live and the testimony they live in the marketplace. Third, I would hold everyone, especially my core leaders, accountable for their marketplace ministry efforts. Most church leaders want to hold them accountable for their church attendance and ministry inside the church building. However, I find very few pastors know much about what their people do in the marketplace Monday through Friday. If you'll hold them accountable for that and affirm them and go out there and be with them from time to time, I know that you can have transformation in your city.
It's time to get to work transforming your city. Idle in the Marketplace at the 11th hour is the popular must-read from Dr. Dave Robinson concerning the church's most important mandate. Connect with Coach Dave. Become a member of the team at transformingyourcity.com. With your donation of any amount, you'll have online access to the Idle in the Marketplace audiobook. For your contribution of $35 or more, we'll include a print version as well. Perfect for highlighting and taking notes, plus a print copy of Dave's popular 100 Leadership Nuggets, the perfect guide for those who want to lead well. Your gift will help Transforming Your City impact lives globally for the kingdom. And Transforming Your City is part of E41 Marketplace Ministries. Visit transformingyourcity.com today and look for Idle in the Marketplace offer. That's transformingyourcity.com. Here's our toll-free number, 844-706-1444. That's 844-706-1444. Toll-free 844-706-1444. transformingyourcity.com.
Want to learn more about the Transforming Your City one-day equipping events? Give our Transforming Your City's offices a call, toll-free, at 844-706-1444. That's 844-706-1444. Or email us at dave@transformingyourcity.com. That's transformingyourcity.com.
I'm Coach Dave Robinson, and my personal mission is to equip you with information to help you develop as a marketplace leader who's part of the Transforming Your City movement. I'd like to encourage you to get connected by visiting our transformingyourcity.com website or calling us today at 844-704-1444.
You've been listening to the Transforming Your City radio program with popular leadership expert, author, speaker, mentor, minister, Coach Dr. Dave Robinson. For more information on transforming your city, visit us on the web, transformingyourcity.com. That's transformingyourcity.com. Or give us a call toll-free at 844-706-1444. Again, that's 844-706-1444. Toll-free, 844-706-1444. Transforming Your City is powered by E41 Marketplace Ministries and the Fellowship. Visit us online at transformingyourcity.com.